I'm gonna rank all the moves that white can start with. Uh, there are 20 different moves, 16 with a pawn and 4 with a knight. And I know I'm gonna anger a lot of people, so just kill me in the comment section if you want, I guess. At the bottom of this, I have G4, the Grob. It is objectively the worst possible starting move. You're almost losing on move 1, and basically the ideas are D5, Bishop G2, Grob Gambit, takes, C4, like C6, and Queen to B3. And like black has to give the pawn back. Well, like after takes, and knight B to D7. And if white takes that, then it's like rook C8, and like black is crushing. Like this is really good for black. Black has way more development, and white is a really bad pawn structure. It's like the Grob does a lot of like tricks, but it's not good. Next, I have A3, which is not a good move. Like, you just give black the whole center. Like, I guess, like, it stops bishop going to B4, but, like, well, why? Let's say the bishop could go on B4. Like, ignore that you can take, but, like, it's like, you can just defend the pawn. It's like, you could play bishop C4 instead of, like, if you had actually played normal moves and gone E4 here, and you could have gotten like a normal Vienna and play like bishop C4 or something. So that way, white, if black tries something like this, you can just play D3 and guard your pawn. What is the point of A3? Moving on. Next, I have H3, which is not as bad because in a lot of positions, bishop. I'm just gonna block a couple random moves. In a lot of positions, bishop G4 actually can get very annoying with like a lot of knight D4 tricks. So it's a little bit better than A3, but it's still bad. Like, why would you play on the first move? It's not a good idea. Next, now I have knight to H3, the Mamar opening apparently. Like, it's just not really a good move. Like D5 here and like takes you have a damaged pawn structure. You're never castling kingside. And, like, black can probably play something like C5 here, take the initiative, and, yeah, they have a much better position. Like, like, these double pawns are going to be weak in the future, and they're double isolated pawns, which makes it even worse. So, there's no point behind this opening, just don't play it. Now I move pawn to H4, which, like, why? Why? Like, this move hurts your king side, so now castling king side is going to be a bit harder. And you're developing, like, black can take the initiative, and you're playing move behind, except you have this worthless move, H4. There's no point in playing this, just don't do it. After H4, we have C3. Why are you taking my square for your knight? Like, what is that? Do you get, like, a reverse Caro? Well, if you're gonna play like this, just play D4 on the first move. You don't need to prepare it. You're playing white. Like, black's not controlling D4. You just play D4. Like, the Caro, like, you're trying to play Caro with white. Like, the Caro is different because white already controls the center, so you're fighting for it to try and undermine it. But why would you play C3 here? You can just play D4, and you don't play C3 so bad, then just, like, play a London or something. Like, I hate the London, but it's so annoying to play against, but just play it instead of C3 if you want to play C3 so bad. Next up, I have D3. Like, why? Like, now you're gonna have to move 2 pawns to get this bishop out. You're gonna move 2 pawns to get this bishop out. Or, like, black can probably go D5, and now what? Apparently that's the cow. Like, it's not like a cow, like a, some black play random moves. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, this is the cow. But, like, why? But, like, D5, and then what? You're gonna go E4? Like, E3 was a misclick. Like, what, you can take and then lose your castling rights? and black's still up a tempo. Like black's still up a tempo. Like just be like bishop d7, and you're gonna get your bishop kicked away. And if I can just like long castle, and it's much easier to play black in this position. Why d3? It's just not a good move. Next up, I have knight to a3, which suffers a lot of the same problems behind knight h3, but this is a little bit better because, like, because these pawns are like a bit further. Like, so you still have like some play on the queen side, I guess, but it's just not like why. Like, still, why are you playing this? Like, why knight a3? Like, the only reason you should be playing this is if you're playing the old Chess.com bot Eugene, which is the only way to win. Like, this is just not a good move. Like, next I have f3, the Barnes opening. Why? Why are you doing this? Like, you take away the square for your knight, and you're weakening your king side at the same time, and you don't even get anything in return from it. Like, probably something like d5 here, and yeah, even if you kick out the black queen, like bishop c5, and yeah, queen h4 works in a lot of lines as well. So you can't play bishop c4. Like, queen e2 is the top computer move, and then what? Knight c6. What, f4? Guess what? You just move the same pawn twice in the opening. Probably something like queen d7 and black's fine. Oh, well, I guess there's this, but bishop e6, even if you lose this pawn. Oh, wait, because no, I don't get it. Okay, but like, this is not a good move. You take away square for your knight, you weaken your king, and you give black a move. Just why? Just find a better opening. Here, things start to get a bit better with pawn to e3. The von Kruges, I don't know how to say that, but this is a bit better because I'm pretty sure like you prepare for like a d4 push. But like, well, while it's okay, I don't see any reason like why you shouldn't just play d4 first, like c3. But it's a little bit better because like c3, like this is just not a good move because like it takes away square for the knight. e3 does not take away square for the knight, and while it does block in your dark square bishop, like I don't know a lot about these positions, but I think like sometimes you can like just like fianchetto it to get it out the other side. But I know it's like not as bad as it looks, but like c5 is I think black's best way of playing against it. And now if you go d4 now, then black has two center bonds, you only have one, so that's why like it's not higher, because just play d4 and move one if you want to play e3. All right, next up I have knight to f3, the ready opening, and like you control e5. It's a good opening, get your knight out. Like, the reason this isn't higher is a lot of times you're just going to go into a d4, d5 position. But, like, you can also go for g3 and get a king's Indian attack, which does get quite aggressive, I think. Same with like the king's Indian defense. Like, you get some good chances with it. But usually he's going to d4, d5, and so I still want to see the point behind knight f3. Next up, I have b3, the Nimzo-Larsen attack. Like, I actually really like this opening because there's so many tricks and traps, and it's sound at the same time. Like, you go e3, d5, black goes d5, you go bishop b5. Like, you're pinning the knight, so this pawn's actually hanging. And bishop b6, the moment you see the bishop leave, you can play f4. And if you're trying to take it, like, you take the rook's trapped. Black can make life difficult for you with this, but you just move your king over, and like there's not enough here. Like say takes queen e1. Black can't really do anything. Like after like something like this, you can just force a queen trade, and the rook is still trapped. And like there's so many ways that white can win a pawn. Like after f4, like black instead defense with like f6. Like you can just. Like, there's a tricky line here, knight takes e5. If they take, then you can take. Technically, they can move over to d8, but that's not human. Most people just capture back, and then queen h5, you win the piece. Like, you win the pawn back. King moves over, you take. You got the pawn back, and if you go g6, the rook's actually trapped. So this is just winning. b3 has a lot of tricks behind it. and I like it in this mirror. I'm not just choosing these based on how good they are. I'm choosing them based off like my preference. Like, and I really like B3 because it's just got so much tricks. It's super aggressive. And it's just a good opening. Next up, I have G3, the King's Fianchetto opening. And like from this, you typically just go into a King's Indian attack. Oh, you used to go into a King's Indian attack. But it's still a very strong opening regardless. And you get like a similar position. And a lot of times you have good chances. You can play a King's Indian defense, I think. But I'm pretty sure they're a bit different. That's why the King's Fianchetto openings is high, because like unlike the ready, you're typically not going to just go in a D4, D5 position. Here we have D4. And there's not a lot to say here. This is just one of the better openings. There's a lot of ways for Black to respond. Like you can play a Queen's Gambit or something. Maybe like Black plays like a King's Indian and someone loses the game. Like Black plays like a Dutch and someone again loses. It's a matter of who, because they're both very aggressive. It's typically like more of a positional game here. I say like Queen's Gambit. Oh, wait. Queen's Gambit declines is Black's best response, and like you can play like a Catalan maybe. Let's say Bishop E7, G3. Yeah, this is the Catalan. Like it's a pretty good opening. Like D4 is very strong. It's just not really my preference, which is why this isn't higher, because I don't like positional play. After that, I have Knight to C3, the Van Geet opening. And this is a pretty tricky opening. Like, let's say D5. You can go E4 here. Like, they push. And, like, Knight C to E2. And, like, there's a lot of tricks here with stuff like F4 and all. Like, implements like Knight G3, Knight F3. And this is just overall pretty good opening. Like, you undermine Black's center and maybe start a big kingside attack. I don't know the openings very well, but I understand this is a very good opening. But, like, you don't really want to go D4 here, though. Shut up, computer. Because, like, now you're playing a D4, D5 with the knight on C3, which is typically not good. Okay, next I have the English opening. It's similar to like the queen's pawn opening, or D4 in a way that it's very positional opening. Like the ideas are you use control D4 and D5, just again and again. Just make sure that Black can like never push there. Pretty sure like some variations can go like E3, knight GD2, castle kingside. I'm pretty sure some variations you go E4. There's a lot of stuff you can do. It's a very flexible opening, but you just like kind of like slowly improve your position. But like it's a good opening. It's not my favorite. Next, I have one of the reasons why people are gonna get so mad about this video. Because at number 3, I have the Polish opening. This is why people are gonna get mad, because a lot of people like hate this opening. But it's actually pretty good. Like now you're playing an even material game, but you have 2 central pawns. Black only has 1. Okay, after knight f6, you have 2 central pawns. Black has 1, and like you can always just like drop your bishop back to b2 whenever it's attacked, and then just like play e3, bishop e2, and then let's say Black does something. He use castle, and then you can play d4, c4, a3. Develop your knight, and you just have a good position. Or like if Black doesn't take and instead plays, if Black plays this loses a pawn actually after b5 and e3. So if Black plays something like d6 instead to defend, you just go play like, or f6. F6 Black's most challenging try, but you just go like a3, and then like after Black like takes over the center, you just go e3. And Black develops some knight f3. You can play stuff like d4. You run knight d2, go c4, and you just have a good position. You have a lot more queenside space, and you just get a lot of queenside space in the Polish show. That's why I like it. Even a lot of people don't. And you can murder me in the comments for this one, but I don't care. It's number 3. Deal with it. At number 2, I have the most common first move, pawn to e4. And like the reason it's not number 1 is because black has a lot of ways to reply, like c5, c6, e6, knight f6, d5, g6, b6. So many ways to reply, and you have to do a bunch of different stuff. And that's just a lot of stuff memorized, like even like knight c6. So much stuff black can do. They can play d6. As you can see, that's already a lot. That's why it's not number 1. But like if black has d5 though, you can get like, I like the Vienna. And there's a ton of stuff you can play. It's one of the more aggressive ways of playing e4 is because like, you try and get a fast development of your pieces, and it's one of the more like faster games because you try to attack your opponent and just win. Unlike d4, which is a lot more positional. And now going on to the next one, which is another reason why people are gonna try. At number 1, I have f4, the bird's opening. A lot of people hate this opening, say it's really bad because you weaken your king, but it's actually really good. Like if they go d5, just go knight f3, and like you control e5 again and again. And let's say black keeps on developing, you go b3, and a6 is never good because like you're gonna take that knight eventually anyway. Have something like e6, like you can just confidently castle, like bishop e7, then like d3. And like you can actually play knight e5, which is the whole point of the bird. And like rook b8, you can go queen e1. And like you play a rook lift, like bring the rook around. And let's say black tries to get counterplayed, like you can get a very strong attack. And like a lot of people aren't comfortable with it because of this. This isn't even good. Like use take. d6, black's only real try. Knight f3, g5. g3, g4, knight h4. Like if they go here, then like you just drop your knight back to g2 and you're fine. That's why knight e7, you play a very specific move, d4, and you just trade, and then they're threatening to take on g3, so you play queen d3 to defend, which is why you play d4. And well, there's still some tricks like they're actually threatening to take because it takes on bishop g3, so you have to play c3. A lot of people try this, just e4. Queen 7, bishop g2, and like black just doesn't have a lot. Like after castles, like a lot of people here try this for some reason, thinking like this and this, like that's them an advantage, but there's still a bishop. The bishop's still hanging. So like that's why the bird's so good, and you can basically do the same thing every time. You just put knight f3, bishop e5, e3, b3, bishop e2, and control e5 a lot, and you get a strong attack and just win. And now that that's done, please don't murder me in the comments for my choices. And I'm not gonna change my mind. I'm still putting the bird at number 1. Go deal with it.